Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome into another edition of the Right Side of Campus. It is a football Friday, November 22nd, 2019. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. The weekend is just about here. We got plenty of football to get to today. We got a lot. We got 5 college football games. I'm sure we'll talk about a couple more as well. We got morning headlines. We got NFL. We're breaking down a few different games there. I'm sure we'll talk injuries along the way. I'm sure we'll talk all sorts of different things along the way. And thanks for being here. I'm the big man. He's Donnie. Donnie, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. Football Friday. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. The hard work is done. Let's see what happens on the weekend. But we got some pretty good topics to talk over today. And I am watching right now, Jeff, Miami and Florida, not in football, but in basketball.
There you go. Got some tournaments going on right now. Some of them, as I said, look, you should not be betting on. You've got to, I think, Donnie, that's one betting theory that you can go down is that whole just because something is on does not mean you need to bet it. Right before the show started, Donnie, I had a guy reach out to me. What do you think about day games today? Give me a game. And it's like, look, man, I don't personally bet on these games. I don't have nothing for you. There was one I considered Tulane today. That was one I had my eye on, but I really don't have a lot of interest in these games. In a lot of aspects, you're betting on teams that you saw some of the retweets, Donnie. You've got glorified ballrooms, Donnie.
That was great. Was that you? I know you had at least one of them in there, but you just showed the exact thing. Like literally, somebody got married there yesterday. Jeff, we're gonna have a Division I basketball game the next day.
Yeah, it's really amazing, dude. I'm blown away by it. But we got plenty to talk about. How was your night last night?
It was good.
I'm going to tell you something. That NFL game is horrific.
No, it wasn't. If you want money, it wasn't horrific. I know you liked Indianapolis full game, which cashed. I like Indy first half. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
No, I'm just saying. I from a viewing standpoint, it was. I lost a lot of interest. I just went and I actually looked at the card for tomorrow. Last night I looked at the card, but we'll get into that. Thanks everyone for joining the show. Look at that. We already have a donation. Thank you, Shane.
Bing, bing.
You're very kind. Appreciate you doing that. You don't need to donate, but you can. We don't mind it. Donnie, how much will you see that? Maybe
maybe a slice of pizza out of it. I like it. Yeah.
Donnie gets invited to a party. The Nadu Christmas party.
Jeff, I'm sure Jeff will give me $1.50 when he sees me at the party.
I will. Yes. And you'll get a free meal.
True. I will. Maybe a little bit of dancing. You never know.
Yes. You correct. Good call.
Yeah.
Last night we did cash on Indy. You in the first half, I had the full game.
Yeah.
So hey, it worked out. I know there were people out there that said they had 3, which that never happened.
Jeff, when you know the line when it's a 3.5, not a single person actually lost money on that game. You do know that, right?
Gotta love Kelly in Vegas. She puts that 3.5. Then after the game, she goes, "Well, I pushed on 3."
No, come on. See, that's the worst.
She did.
No.
I saw it. It was on Twitter.
You know what? I was like,
Somebody posted
it. Come on, man. Stop.
Somebody posted it. I have it.
No, the one that I liked was I didn't know if it was real or because sometimes you can't tell when somebody doctors a tweet. Darren Ravel's tweet was awesome, man. And I went on his timeline and it was gone. He didn't even put like a recorrection, just probably erased it.
I'll belittle him because he's Darren Ravel, but you make mistakes. He added wrong. I don't know. I've done that before, actually, Donnie. But I've quickly been able to spot the error and get rid of it. So I don't knock him. I mean, he's a shithead, but people make mistakes. All right, let's get into the show. We'll start out with some morning headlines. We'll start out with a story that we kind of got into yesterday, Donnie, a little bit, but the smoke kind of cleared, and the NFL said, look, Myles Garrett, we don't believe shit you say. You're still being suspended. And it was pretty evident, Donnie, that little charade about the race baiting didn't seem like the NFL bought that real much there.
No, and I'm actually happy that the suspension is still indefinite. So when it all dies down and they revisit it and he gets in the office with the commissioner and let's just say late July and says, what are we going to do here? And he goes, all right, we had you indefinite, which, you missed the last 6 games of the season. You lied about a racial slur. That's going to be another 8 games on top of it. So we'll see you week 9. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
You should
100%.
say you're out for the rest of the year, and then you're out for 6-8 games next season.
Yep.
That'll teach you next time to don't start this race baiting crap and cause issues. This is 2 vile things that this guy's done in the last week. Good for the NFL. Glad they didn't bite on this crap. And I love how Myles Garrett basically doubled down on Twitter. Basically, he's like, "I heard what I heard."
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now,
up.
like if that was really heard, like how Pouncey started throwing bombs on Garrett, he probably would have did that to his own quarterback as opposed to that.
Exactly. And Donnie, there's audio down on the field.
It's all over. Yes.
Somebody heard something. If this was said, it was said.
Yep. There was 4 to 5 players around him when they're tackling. So did he whisper in his ear, and he only singled out Myles Garrett from the entire team? And I know 75% of my Steelers teammates are black, but I'm going to whisper in your ear this slur. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm telling you, I would tack on it maybe a full season on Myles Garrett. I'll say, if I was the commissioner behind the scenes when they're going through like the appeal process, and he says, all right, I'm going to enter this one in. Well, why do you think you should be off? Well, he called me a racial slur. If I was Roger Goodell, James Thrash, John Runyon, or Derek Brooks, I would say, okay, if you want to enter this in, and that is true, we will knock your suspension down. But if we find no trace of this racial slur, we're going to knock you down for 16 more games on top of it. Yeah. If you want to enter it in, go ahead and enter it. Like a plea deal, Jeff, right? Where the prosecution says, look, you want to plead us down to 1 year? If you go to trial, I'm going to knock you down for 10 years. And the guy goes, I'm going to take my chances. Well, then don't be surprised when you get 10 years.
Also, or like remember in The Wire, season 5, when they got Marlowe off because of the fake wiretap?
Yes, correct.
The ADA basically said, look, if we get a sniff of you back on the street, you're going in.
Yes.
We're going to give you a reprieval here. But if we find out you're back on the street, you're done. You quit. You retire. Let me ask you something, Donnie. Let's say Myles Garrett, he'll eventually come back. He'll eventually have probably a seasonally long, a pretty sensible long career.
Yep.
2 questions.
Yeah.
Is he always going to be that repeat offender like Burfict? And is this his legacy? He's a dirty player who hit somebody with a helmet. Let's say he becomes like an Aaron Donald type of player, because he has been a good player.
He's very good. He's a very good football player.
This is his legacy, regardless.
I don't know. So, Jeff, normally I would say yes and agree with you, but our news cycle is so wild these days between politics and nonsense. Because if you remember, like he put in the evidence, like the helmet swinging when they took it off of Richie Cognito's head and sort of swung it out of mid-play. I'd forgotten about that play. And I think I'll forget about this one as well. And also, Jeff, I want to bring this point up.
I don't know about that.
Somebody had a good point in this. Because you know why we don't remember the Richie Incognito play? Because it was buried at like 1 o'clock with like 7 other games.
Yeah, but
what happens if this wasn't a standalone game?
Yeah, I still think it would have been a big story. It's something that we've never really seen. And I'll liken it to like that Albert Hainsworth on Andre Garrod.
Yeah, when he stomped on his head. Yeah.
Like, I thought that was probably the most egregious thing. But I remember Ndamukong Suh's done stuff like this.
Oh, crazy, yes.
I think, again, this was the worst of them, though. I mean, just like actually not during – it was after a play. It was I got a helmet and hit someone with a helmet. It was just –
yeah.
It was ugly.
The doubling down is hilarious. And then I'm watching, right? So it's amazing because I have ADHD with TVs. Like if I get a commercial, I'm off the commercial and I'm flipping between sports. I do the same thing in the car. Like I'll flip 19 times between sports stations in the car until I get what I want. And the minute a commercial goes, I'm flipping 19 more times. I'm watching yesterday, pardon the interruption, Michael Wilbon and Kornheiser. And they're going back and forth. They're talking about it. And the issue again came up, which I retweeted, which got a lot of traffic, was Wilbon says, and this wasn't even like a beat around the bush. If Mason Rudolph was a black quarterback, he would have been suspended. And Tony Kornheiser didn't call him on it, just said, yeah. And they went on like that. And I'm saying to myself, like, why? What pertinent information does that have to do with anything in this? So if Lamar Jackson was the quarterback, he would have been suspended just because he's black? Where's this come from?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with it.
And nobody called him out. Nobody nothing. Happy show. Ended the show. And I'm saying to myself, is this really what happens now?
Yeah, I mean, it's pathetic. Now, Donnie, let me ask you. Yesterday, Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith had Terrell Owens on the program.
Yes, I saw that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And basically, Terrell Owens said that Max Kellerman is, quote unquote, blacker than Stephen A. Smith. Now, I actually had Ski Profit on last night, Donnie, and him and I talked about this, and he agreed that as a Black American that he thought Max. He agreed with that. Now, I got to tell you, I love when Stephen A. gets kind of annoyed with things.
Mm-hmm.
But Donnie, let's be real with Stephen A. He mentions he was from Queens. When was the last time Stephen A. Smith was in Queens? Come on, man. He's like James St. Patrick from Power. Like, I'm still from Queens, but I don't ever go there. Like, come on, man. Like, who is he trying to who is he trying to kid? Like, he's not
you're
in the streets. Like, what's he talking about?
Makes $8 million a year. But the thing I always like about ESPN is I would love to be in like the writer's room, like before the show, where they give the talking points on Max. You have to do this. They really gave Max like we're going to try to get you a lot of like street cred, because your next week and a half is you're just going to take up for the African-American athlete, and Stephen A., you're going to play the opposite card. You're going to take up for the white athlete. It's amazing.
Max, I actually think, like, I'm not saying I agree with the way Terrell Owens said it, because Terrell Owens just said it, which is like funny in itself.
I like the way Stephen handled it too. It's like, wait a second.
Yeah. And Max goes, go ahead, Stephen A. Smith. Max was like, I don't want no part of this.
Yeah, it was pretty funny when I saw, because T.O. is such a knucklehead anyway, but when I saw the clip and I was just like, that's not going to just slide right by Stephen A. He's like, I'm going to stop this show right now.
I don't know. Like, some of Max's thoughts are lame, but I don't know. Stephen A. is definitely generally a guy, Donnie, that sticks up for that more conservative viewpoint. He does remind me a lot of like a Jason Whitlock. He generally doesn't stand with Black athletes, which is odd.
I don't know about that.
I don't remember. I can't remember. He's generally not on that side. I've noticed. He's a more conservative thought kind of guy. It's
just the whole oddity thing, which it's amazing, like still to this day. And I understand there's going to be racism and people only see color, but like, honestly, guy, like I love sports, and I like, if you're a racist, like you're not watching the NBA or college. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Are there racists? Yes. Are there hardcore racists? Absolutely. But when I see plays like that, like when the fight breaks out, you know who my favorite player in that fight was? It was Pouncey. Laying bombs for his teammate. I didn't say, oh boy, no white guys really stood out. I didn't know who looks at it like that.
Yeah,
who actually does.
I'll tell you though, I was surprised that his suspension was lowered. I got to be real. I mean, because I feel like you're setting kind of a double standard. Like either it was wrong to do or what. Like you don't, Donnie, get points because you stuck up for your teammate. You still were fighting. Like rules I don't understand why you're not.
Look, I thought it was excessive though. 3 games,
but it was hypocritical.
When 2 guys fight in the NFL and get tossed out, a lot of times they don't even get a week suspension. You know what I mean?
And I
think they overlooked it right away, because the thing I do like about the NFL in that situation, they handled it quickly, but I don't think they really thought about the actual process of who was actually getting suspended and what they were getting suspended for.
Yeah, I think they should have initially given Pouncey a game. Like, that's it. Like, the fact that you took it from 3 to 2 is just like, oh, well, he was kind of sticking up for his teammates. We'll just.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Because when a fight breaks out, nobody unless it's egregious, like, again, what Myles Garrett did. Now, also, you know what you're looking at, because well, that's, long and this and that. Can you imagine, like, look at the NFL product of what would have happened if he smashes him on the head and he just goes out cold on the field? Like, that's why they're actually suspending him that long, not because of actually what took place. Well, he's not hurt. He's played the next week. It couldn't have been that bad. It was the president's set, because if that would have actually happened where it would have been an awful look for the NFL. Awful.
But again, we as fans look at what Pouncey did as honorable, and it is honorable. You stick up for your friends and your teammates and people that are you're close to. But at the end of the day, Donnie, the NFL rules as if they're a court of law, and in a court of law, Marcus Pouncey, or Michael, whatever his name is, he fought. So that's the point I'm trying to make. It was honorable what he did, but I don't think he should get any sort of leeway. He still fought.
Yeah, but it's interesting, though,
because the NFL,
like, if you're in the court system, you come home and your mom is getting wailed on by her boyfriend, and you step on and crush this dude.
You're still going to jail, though.
I don't know if you are you?
Well, here's the thing. I liken it down. You ever see A Time to Kill?
Yes. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep. Absolutely.
That would never happen in real life.
I hear you.
Samuel L. Jackson went and murdered the people that raped his
shotgun.
daughter.
Yes, in the courthouse.
Went into the courthouse with a machine gun and killed them.
Yes.
It's a movie, though.
Yeah.
That would never, and it was highlighting racism in the South, in Mississippi.
Great
that
movie,
would never happen in real life. Now the NFL needs to continue. It seems it's almost like they went in and said, you know what? We fuck with the way you handled that, dude. Like, we're going to ride out. Like, dude, like, this is, you govern as a court of law, which is how they govern. You can't just knock his game because you think it was cool. You've got to have the same, and that's the problem with the NFL. They continue to have these, like, random, like, everyone should have a uniform punishment.
Yeah.
You know, it's, I don't know.
Well, the NFL is in way too many deep waters, which we're going to wait for law enforcement. We're going to act ourselves. They always get themselves in trouble. So first of all, in the NFL, there's way too many penalties for what you can and can't do, and way too many penalties on the football field with flags.
I think
you can't do it anymore.
I think, Donnie, though, there are laws, like if someone hurts your kid and you kill them.
Yes. And it's happened before, and they've gotten off. Yes, correct.
And that's like, as an honor thing, I would go to jail for that. I'd be okay with that.
But they also reach in for, like, temporary insanity, and that's usually the case that they use and they get off. And they're right to use that case.
Sure, but any time, Donnie, if you're getting beat up and I jump in and I
beat the guy to death,
neck, like,
you're going to jail. Yeah, I get it.
Like, it's also the same with, like, self-defense. Self-defense, if someone comes to your house and you shoot them, that's okay. But if they're running away and you pump 3 into their back,
yes, you run out the front door and chase them down the street. Yes,
you can make cases for murder there. So there's a slippery slope in the criminal system, and the NFL needs to stop being hypocritical. Pouncey committed a violation.
Did you see Josina Anderson's? She was on live with Will Kane at like 3:30 or 3 o'clock yesterday. I'm just amazed at this, that ESPN's like, dude, you guys can't talk about it. Like, just leave this alone. Nobody wins in this situation. I'm amazed they do it.
Yeah. Don Deasy, thanks for checking out the show, man. Jukes, George Young, Jeff Hanna. Is that the real George Young from Blow?
It actually is, yes. I think he just got back, met his daughter today again, Jeff.
Let me ask you, did that movie make you, like, kind of?
Oh, it was upsetting. It was extremely upsetting.
I always say that
dramatic scene where they're in the room together and he goes to take a leak and then comes back. That next like minute and a half, where he knew it was coming. That's an awesome scene, man.
The last 10 minutes of that movie,
it's amazing. Yes, it is. I love it. Every time it's on, I'm watching it, man.
That's a top 6 movie for me.
It's a very good movie.
It's right up.
It doesn't get the I don't know, because it's the show is named Blow, and it doesn't get the appeal of maybe it was a cooler name or something like that. I don't know, but it's Johnny Depp is awesome, man. A lot of
from a crime standpoint. It's hard to argue it's a top movie, and he arguably Donnie Brasco and Blow are right up there for me.
They're awesome,
phenomenal
great movies, man.
I mean, they're terrific. Speaking of movies, Donnie, how about that segue? How about that segue to the Irishman? Come on. Listen, I can't fucking wait for this movie.
Is it the 27th? I thought I saw about
27th.
There we go.
Now, I know a lot of people.
Is it in the theaters?
It is.
And then goes to Netflix.
It's in theaters, but
I don't want to say it. Yeah, no, I'm not doing it.
It's a 3-hour and 50-minute movie.
No, I love that. Good.
I can't sit in a theater that long.
Yeah, that's too long in a theater. At home, I want it. Yeah.
At home.
That's like a binge of like The Sopranos for a night. Yeah.
Listen, this movie, I know some people don't know the backstory to Jimmy Hoffa, Frank Sheeran, Russell Buffalino, but it is. I mean, this is going to be unbelievable. This movie, I can't wait for it.
What's it? Hold on. I've watched the Hoffa movie about twice in the past 3 years. The one with who plays Hoffa in the most recent movie? It was I think Danny DeVito.
You mean Killing Jimmy Hoffa?
No, the actual movie itself. It's like a 1979 or 1980 movie.
Called Hoffa?
It's just called Hoffa. It's a great. I don't know. You haven't seen that movie? You got to watch it.
I haven't. I'm more interested in like the Frank Sheeran kind of angle. It was Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, yes. Well, who's the main guy?
He directed it. I want to. I don't remember. It was a guy that I don't really know.
Was it Jack Nicholson or who does it?
No, it was kind of a more unknown guy.
Oh, was? Oh, I thought it was somebody famous in that.
I don't know. I don't know him by name, but Danny DeVito directed it, I believe.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this backstory is really.
Yeah, it was Jack Nicholson. Yes, Jack Nicholson played Jimmy Hoffa. Awesome movie.
Yeah, I might be thinking of a different one because
watch it. It's a good movie. 1992 it came out. It's a good one.
Yeah, but this looks awesome. I can't wait for it. Many are saying that it'll be the last time we see these three together, Pesci, Pacino, and De Niro. It doesn't get better than these three, right? I mean,
no, when they get, come on, man. I wish it's a shame in life people got to get older and die. I wish those guys would have stayed the same exact age as like when they were in Casino for their whole life and they just made mob movies.
Now, Donnie, let's rank their movies together, or movies that they were all in, or one or two was in. Okay, so for me, the Godfather the two Godfather 1 and 2, I think from a movie standpoint, they're two of the most complete movies ever.
Yeah.
I don't personally think the movie is the best mob film ever. I think it's very good, but I like other movies more. Goodfellas, I'm not real into. I think
why not? God.
Because it's not realistic. It's not true. None of it. Henry Hill was not, and I don't like the fact that they parade Henry Hill around as some fucking G and shit. He's a fucking loser drunk. Fuck Henry Hill. He was and I like realistic movies, Donnie. The Irishman that they're putting out is very realistic.
Yeah.
You know, The Godfather, there was some realistic points.
But they're all Scorsese movies, though, you know?
Sure.
I love the way they're shot. I love them.
And Goodfellas, for what it is a very good movie. Okay. Casino, very good, but I think there was too much. I would have liked to have seen a more complex view into Pesci's characters and some of the other characters.
I loved Casino. I loved them all. Like, they're my favorites, man.
Now, Donnie, A Bronx Tale, I find to be one of the best movies ever.
I like it. I do.
You keep in mind, had Pesci in that movie, and a lot of people don't remember, Donnie. Joe Pesci was in Bronx Tale. What was he? He was the guy that was killed by. Remember, Sonny kills that guy early in the movie.
It was Joe Pesci.
He doesn't kill. No, he kills the guy for Joe Pesci. Remember, Joe Pesci's trying to get into the parking spot, and the guy goes, "Fuck you, you freeloader."
You know what? It's funny you said that. I actually don't. I know the scene you're talking about, but I never thought of Joe Pesci.
Because at the end of the movie, he's in like the funeral home.
Okay.
And that Joe Pesci character comes in. He goes, "My name is Carmine," and he goes,
"Oh, okay, yeah."
He goes, "You don't remember me, do you?" He goes, "You were the guy from the parking spot," and he goes, "Was that really over a parking spot?" And Joe Pesci's just like, "No." And then he's like, I'm going to be around for a while. Yeah, he was in. It wasn't a major character.
Gotcha.
But,
yeah, I forgot about that.
But it wasn't. De Niro was really good in that movie.
Sure he was, yeah.
That was De Niro's first directorial debut. Yeah. Terrific.
Now he can't leave, man.
Great scene. Yep. Great scene. Which, by the way, that would never happen in real life either.
No, it would never happen. Well, Jeff, I could picture you like saying, you know what, let me move to a little, a couple blocks of the city like that. You would eat that up, man.
Of course I would.
Yeah.
Look, Donnie, I've often said if I didn't have a family like I do, I would probably be doing something I shouldn't be doing. But yeah, a lot of my life, Donnie, is based off that movie. Like a lot of the things that I do in my personal life, I'm very old school with that kind of thing.
Like you would be at the social club, the Aces. Sure, man.
Oh, yeah. What was the social club called?
Was it the Four Aces or what?
Deuce is Wild.
Deuce is Wild.
Yeah. And Donnie, back in the day, actually, I have a story about a social club. A friend of mine and we had a social club, actually. We would just hang out there and just bullshit and think of dumb shit. I remember he had his dumb idea to start. I actually don't want to say it on camera because it could indict me, but yeah, it's fun times. Yeah, I actually would create a social club. If I live closer to Donnie, we could have like a little club, Donnie.
Yep.
Yeah, we hang there, we do shows, and we chill and stuff.
Betting's legal. You can just fire it in. You can watch the games there. Yeah.
It's actually a great idea.
Yep. And then also, as things come down the line and things ease up, somebody in your family might be able to put up a bond for a legal sports wagering place.
When I move, Donnie, I'm going to look into that. What would we call it, you think? It's got to be something cool, like not something lame, like Deuces.
Yeah, or like line snipers or something like that.
No, it's nothing with betting. It's got to be like some sort of. It's got to be like a cool name, like La Veranda Social.
Yeah, you would have to because it would be in South Philadelphia, so you would have to incorporate.
Well, I'm thinking Donnie, Ducktown in Atlantic City.
That would be a nice one in Ducktown, yeah.
That'd be cool, right?
Because would you mirror like a 24-hour like type establishment, like some of those down there?
Yeah, it's like you're always in there.
Right. Casinos are open 24/7. You can always come over to.
People come to Atlantic City to hang. They can come chill.
You know.
but it's members only. It's not open to the public.
Yeah, you're not.
You've got to come. You've got to come in with the magic word,
or you got to wait outside in that long line, and like me and you will go out and be like, all right, this guy's all right.
No, we don't want long lines. We don't want a lot of people coming over.
No, that's what I'm saying. You might be able to line up, but don't mean you're getting in. Like remember, like Studio 54. Like some nights they never let anybody in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we only let certain people.
Exactly. Like you come out and be like, all right, what do you? This guy contacted me. Like he's got a pretty good idea what he wants today.
What we do, we'd have a card table, a couch. We'd have like a little bar.
Yep.
In the
cocktail
back,
waitresses. Yep.
In the back, we'd have like a studio where that's kind of closed.
Yep.
I'd say we call it the Ravenite Social Club.
Yeah, see that?
A little ode to John Gotti. Yeah. That'd be great. Yeah. How fucking cool would that? Yearly dues.
Yeah, true.
I love it.
Yep.
I'm serious about this.
In the back, we'd have a cigar lounge. Like it would be completely enclosed. Like, you could, if you had to smoke or get out, you didn't have to leave the building. You go into your own area. Tremendous.
FBI would be putting bugs in it.
Sure. I mean, it would be the place to be. You know what I mean?
And they come at us and be like, look, we're not doing nothing here. We're just watching games.
Exactly.
Oh, that'd be fun, man.
And they come back. Yep, they come by, Jeff. You get them a little give them a couple sandwiches, couple fagos.
Yeah, that's the thing. We have like a guy that's a kind of a cook, and he makes us like breakfast sandwiches or like a little dinner or something.
You need a Coke and a falafel. There you go, man.
Yeah, give me a Coke and an Italian hoagie.
Yep. So we'll have a service like a couple like bellboy type guys looking to get into the business, like the young kids like 19, 20, 21.
Go to Whitehorse and get
there you go. Yep. Hey, look, I got an order over here. Hurry up. Make it quick. Get it for this guy.
Fucking great. I'm doing this. I want to adopt the old school again.
Yep, you get a couple guys in there, getting heated up, like they just drop like 5-6 dimes on a game. You tell the boys to go out, get them a nice White House sub, relax a little bit.
Take care of them. Hey, these guys are friends of ours,
Yep. Hey, look, I got your room over at the Hard Rock over there and rest it off. Come back a little bit later and get refreshed.
And if you come in and be an asshole, you will be barred forever.
That's your dress code. You can't come in in your flip flops and stuff.
Yeah, you come in like a fucking human being. No hair all over the place. No drugs. No smoking. Nothing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
None of that crap.
Yep.
All we have is alcohol.
True.
You act like a dumbass, you're out.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be fucking great.
Get this guy a whiskey. Sit down over here, relax. Oh yeah, man.
We could call it the Bergen Hunt and Fish Club.
See that? Exactly. Yeah.
Smoking is not allowed. No smoking.
We'd have certain rooms, like the Jackie Burke room, all that stuff, man.
We'll have like a little porch on the back where you could smoke.
No, you need a nice unit because you don't want them to leave the building. You know what I mean? Because you never know. I mean, guys are looking for guys. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So
I don't think there's like a little patio outside wouldn't be wrong. I think that'd be okay.
Like get the little cappuccino or the espressos out there.
And none of that. I don't want no women and none. That's not going to happen because what will happen is people start doing shit. None of that. Yeah. It's for watching games and hanging out.
Like, that's it. Hun, come on, we got dinner reservations.
Yeah, you want to go down? Listen, you want to go to the strip club? It's down the street.
And no windows, Chef. No windows.
No
windows.
No peeking in.
Yep.
Nothing.
Nope.
You don't get in unless we know you. It's that simple.
And we even have like the out back, like, you know what I mean? Like you could pull up like the stretch limo and quickly get in. Like you don't have to walk out front if you want to.
And if you come in, you will be shot.
But who? What if somebody just comes in unannounced?
Yeah, we're the owners of the club. You don't come in unless we tell you to come in. It's very simple.
Put them in the bathroom.
It's our
game.
Correct. You act like a mush, you're out.
Yep.
Like,
come on, Eagles! Whoa!
Yeah,
that guy in the bathroom.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom. Yes. Like you're out. Like you're not. We are not dealing with like dumb fucks. No. All right. Well, we have to put this in motion. Hey, one other story. Nelson Agholor, Donnie. There's possible that there's a burner account that is him. Now, according to Nelson, who spoke out about this, and it's not him, of course. There is kind of some clues, though, Donnie, that it could be him. The burner account is EFAM33.
Yes.
Keep in mind, Donnie, EFAM. Nelson's middle name is Ifamuli.
Yeah.
He's from Nigeria.
Yeah.
A lot of the comments are only supporting Nelson Agholor. A lot of them are belittling Carson Wentz. What are the chances that this is Nelson Agholor?
Now, I actually don't think he would be dumb enough to do this. Now, here's what I'm going to sway this.
Would he? He seems pretty dumb to me.
No, but like I can see him writing exactly what he is writing and getting caught, right? Because it lays down. But I think, Jeff, and I don't know why I'm not doing this just for fun. Some of these people are really good at troll accounts. So they go, I know Nelson Agholor. I don't even like this guy, but watch what I do. I'm going to create a profile that's going to mimic how I think he would talk and just get into conversations about him. So then in a couple weeks, I can blow up this Twitter account, which is really mine. Like, hey, guys, look what I found here. Do you know what I mean? I think there's people out there actually doing that now. Maybe like a year and a half. Remember Kevin Durant got caught, and there's a couple guys that got caught. I think people are actually fishing now that aren't actually these pro athletes, but creating burners because of the environment, because it can never be proven. Yeah, he would write that, because I'm looking at the Nelson Agholor stuff that you're talking about. It looks exactly what Nelson Agholor would write. But then again, I start thinking like, dude, somebody just set this up, man, straight up.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought yesterday. It's like it is a good time to kind of pile on Nelson Agholor.
He's the real winner, though, right, Jeff? $9.8 million. He stinks. He probably made like $25 million in his career. He'll never play again. Who's the real winner here? He's killing me as a fan, but Jesus, he won.
Yeah, I mean, but that seems to be the issue with the Eagles a lot of the time. They always have these guys that are just stealing money.
Good Lord.
Donnie would be the Sammy the Bull Garano. Big man would never give up the secrets. Ooh. Yeah, that's the concern, Donnie. You'd be two-timing me.
Like I would be like a double agent in a way. You know?
Wouldn't surprise me if you told me you were now.
Oh, like what happened to Jeff one day? Like I come
to Donnie Brasco.
I come to the Christmas party, Jeff, and like I get in, we hug. Your dad's there, we hug. I, hug your mom, and then all of a sudden, right through that front door of the banquet facility, right here they all come. Hands up in here.
If Donnie, he was Donnie Brasco. His name's Donnie.
What would you tell me? What would you tell me? Yeah, what would you tell me on the way out? Like, would you give me some?
I mean, I've said this before. If I wouldn't see you, but I would see you at court.
Yeah.
And I would.
I had to get up, like I had to point to you, like, all right, testify that that's Chef Nader right there, and I had to point you out. And then they gave me a $500 check, and that was it.
Well, hey, it would be disappointing to me.
That's a lot of work to take you down over these past couple of years, though. I probably should have done it sooner, right? Like, damn, he really had me going after a while.
How do we join the social club? You don't join.
No, you don't. Yeah, there's no.
We either accept
like,
you.
You're not DMing. Like, it's invite only. It's not like.
Yeah, there's no DMs here in this thing. I'll tell you one person that will not join and will not be there.
Who?
Jansen.
Oh, jeez, you're gonna give him.
He will never step foot in the plate.
Damn, Jesus.
Jukes BSG's in.
Yeah, he'd be there. Yep.
George Young.
Rashawn Brown would be there. So he's.
I don't know about him.
Come on, Rashawn, get in the door, man.
Nah, I don't know about him. Jeff Hanna, he's in. Who else? Guan White, he would be in.
Yep.
Don Deasy, he's in.
Yep.
No Smushroom though, Don Deasy.
Yeah, come on, man. What is this? Is a place a bit like this is a gentleman's club, man. Come on.
Well, no, it's not a gentleman's
club.
Well,
I didn't mean it that way.
You mean like
it's an upscale place.
It's one of ours kind of place.
Yes, exactly.
See, like comments like this make me not want Rashawn Brown in there. I'm gonna say Big Man is an underground mob boss, plus 110, no. Yeah, comments like that. We don't ever acknowledge this.
Yeah, you don't. You never.
All right. So yeah, that's kind of the crew that would be in.
Yeah, by the way, Phil. By the way, here's a trivia question for you. Yeah. Who did Phil say going away for? Who did I protect the likes of?
Rusty fucking Milio. Yeah. Doc Santoro.
Yeah. You're a man that says a lot these days.
Teddy B. No way. Sonny Vega would be in.
Like, would Teddy be the type of guy, Jeff, where, it's a nice night, maybe like a NFC playoffs like weekend, so it's a big weekend at the social club for us. Like, and we see this guy in like a Minnesota Vikings jersey
no jerseys.
Trying to get in.
No jerseys.
Come on. Exactly.
That's one of the rules. No
slacks.
Fucking jerseys.
Might need some slacks.
Tracksuits, slacks.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're not wearing sandals in here. Like, no fucking jerseys, no team shirts, none of that. It's not happening. I don't want.
Yeah, then like in the summertime, when like baseball's going on and like it's real packed in, like you're not coming in like board shorts, man. Come on, have some respect for the club.
Rashawn Brown says he'll do store runs. Yeah, listen, Rashawn, I think you're in. I mean, I don't hate it. Josh Murchison, he's in. Andrew just loves Texas.
Yep, like me and Jeff would roll in. You got the guys that do the errand stuff, and you it's like De Niro coming in. You're flipping everybody 20s, 50s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No b-ball shorts. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, come on, man.
Don don't wear shorts. Remember that.
True.
All right.
That's great.
Capper John would be the security. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
He's a pro. Yes,
I've actually met him. He actually is a pretty
met him, sure.
decent sized guy. So, yeah,
he'd have the earpiece in out front, nice suit,
By the way, Ian Cameron out.
Yeah, I don't know if Ian. Yeah, we would have to give him maybe a makeover, right?
Too talkative. His hair would work though.
It would. Like if you dressed Ian up like in an all black suit, black shirt, like no tie with the hair. Like, he'd be like, yo, that guy's somebody over there, right?
I got to see him being like the sad thing is, you know who he kind of looks like?
Who?
A young version of Sam Gravano. Actually.
Yeah, see? Like, give him all black.
Not ideal.
Like, all black.
Not ideal. All right, let's get into, Donnie, quickly last night. I really don't have much. Boring game. A game came inside the number. It was a lower scoring game, kind of surprising. It actually started to get going a little bit in the fourth quarter. It just kind of died. There was just that one touchdown. I got to tell you, 3.5 minutes left. What are you going for that there? I mean, I don't understand. Was I off?
I didn't mind. Yeah, I didn't mind. I didn't mind it. I
didn't mind.
No, but I tell you, the interesting part about the end of the game is, again, like there's what sport do the refs enter in? I mean, of course, like an umpire misses like a strike call. But you got to be tough because, and I wasn't even paying attention. It's already had, the first half. I wasn't really paying all that much. Like, it's going to come down to the end. But if I had money on like the full game, 3.5, like there was that big play at the end where the fumble wasn't called, but let the clock run and like 15. Like you're supposed to have like maybe 45 seconds between plays, including the play. Like almost over a minute ran off the clock, like in a key spot. And nobody brought that up, which would have left like 15 to 20 seconds on the clock at the end, which maybe Houston would have tried a field goal. Refs, man, I don't know how it gets better either. I don't.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's not going to get any better, but I will say, I mean, I stopped watching it after a while. It was just incredibly boring. Donnie, one other thing about the social club.
Yeah.
One idea why I had this idea is because I talked yesterday about some of my things that I do and don't that are weird about life.
Yep.
One thing I don't like, I actually hate it.
What?
I don't want people in my house. Like, I don't want people at my place. Like, if you want to watch a game with me, let's have a place where we can go and watch it, like a place that we can treat like home. And that's one of the things I think a social club is very good for. I don't want people in my house.
You would have your thing, your setup that you like. You would have the studio. You'd have the big round table where maybe 5-6 guys can get around, mics in the middle, and just go live whenever you wanted to.
Yeah, see, I don't want that.
That's what you said you wanted before. Couches around it. Yeah.
No, I want something where we can go live.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't want one of these shows where like you have a laptop in a casino and you're like you got all these people around. I don't want that. That's not good radio. I just want a place where we can go and we can watch games, we can hang, and it kind of feels like home. And and it has a purpose because in the back that's where we conduct some of the stuff we're doing and the shows and stuff. All right, Donnie, college football. We got 5 games here. I want to get into all these. They're all intriguing for something or another. Do you got some lines here you can host here?
Yeah, let me see. By the way, I was telling you that too because I want to bring up a couple. I did a couple videos this week that I want to get your take on a few of these games also. So we'll go Penn State, Ohio State. Now, I was looking at this game last night. Now, do we have – because somebody was saying – I want to get the weather conditions updated on this game. Give me 1 second.
This game's in Happy Valley or –
No, this game's at
Columbus,
yeah. Penn State, Ohio State, 62% of the spreads on Ohio State. You get some help back. One of the best, forget defensive players, one of the best players in college football is coming back this weekend. Opens up at 18, Jeff. Not moving all that much. Now, New Jersey sportsbooks, again, as we always say, shop around. -19 at DraftKings. Jeff Sugarhouse out of Philadelphia. They're at 19. Pinnacle at 18.5. Chris at 18. And I was telling you, buy or sell early this week, if Penn State can win by like 1 point. Is there a pathway for Penn State to win this game? I mean, look, we know about the cover is the main thing, but can they actually win, or you just see maybe a smoke show in this game?
Yeah, I think it's smoke show, to be honest. As far as weather, it's going to be spotty rain all day. Could be rain, could not be. It's not. I don't think it's going to have a big factor in this game. Chase Young's back, Donnie, which already helps. A terrific defense. KJ Hamler, Donnie, the best receiver for Penn State, had a head or neck injury. He may or may not play. Donnie, why that's important? He's got 46 catches. Rest of the team's got 54.
Yeah, he's good. He's their best player.
He's important for this offense. And I have a feeling, Donnie, Sean Clifford's starting to feel the effects of being the Penn State quarterback. It's a big job to handle. It's a lot of pressure. He hasn't looked particularly good lately. And, Donnie, you know what this game says to me? Penn State is good and they're impressive, but Ohio State is way better. They're more athletic. They're faster. They're at home. They have a lot more to play for. Joe Duffy talks, Donnie, about the bubble burst theory, which I think Penn State's bubble is surely broken. Ohio State has a lot more to play for. And we've seen these games before where, remember earlier this year, Donnie, some of those games where it looks like too many points, but look, I have no interest in stepping in front of Ohio State.
Second game, Jeff. I actually put a video out on this football game. I do games where I call like bully games. Air Force in New Mexico, 217, 2718, or 218. 88% of the tickets coming on Air Force. And I completely agree. Opens up 21.5, now sitting at 22. So some would say like, oh no. Oh boy, I would have liked that game at 21 or under. I think this is a runaway, absolute annihilation by Air Force. A lot of key injuries also on New Mexico, specifically at running back. The quarterback's already not that good. New Mexico doesn't stop anybody. I have Air Force in this game in an absolute runaway blowout, Jeff.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I think it's like a 45-10 type of game.
Yep.
I don't even think there's a worry about any sort of issues with hangovers or anything like that, where you have to worry about, a backdoor or anything like that. I've talked before, Donnie, about games in the trenches.
Yep.
This is a complete mismatch. I mean, I think at this point for New Mexico, you have issues with even fielding enough players. I've heard down in New Mexico right now, they don't have enough running backs to even mimic this offense in practice. It's been ugly. They have just injuries everywhere. Bob Davies got to be on his way out, right? And this has to be the end for him.
Yeah, and I don't know what the future of because we even see New Mexico and New Mexico State. I don't know what the future of either one of those programs is at this point in football. Goodness.
But yeah, this seems to me like a 48-10, 48-14 type of game. Air Force, I think, is just rolling right now. I like how they can add in, Donnie. I think we see a lot more in the passing game from Air Force. Donald Hammond, if he throws the ball out of the field, this is a horrific New Mexico defense. I believe, actually, they're the worst pass defense in the country.
Yes. Everything should be wide open. And the thing that I also like, when you take these military schools and you think about covering like big numbers, a normal offense, college football is probably 4 or 5 wide outs. You open it up. So when you get in the second half and you're up 21 points, let's say, you sort of go on the ground when it's not really your MO. It doesn't stop with Air Force. Like they're not they're not going to run they're going to run their offense the entire 4 quarters of that football game. So if you need a touchdown with 6 minutes to go and they're at midfield, they're going to get it.
Yeah, no, and they're going to have tons of possession in this game. I like this one a lot here. I would, you said about the number, Donnie.
Yeah.
The number really in this game, I'm not necessarily worried about it, but it just would be nice to have where, like, if this is a 28-point game late, that back door doesn't kill you, know. But I just don't think it's going to be real in motion. This should be a 35-plus point win where you don't really have to worry about it.
No, I agree. 179-180 Central Florida and Tulane 47. Actually, almost a 50-50 ticket split in this one, and not a lot of line movement. So this is an interesting one, which bettors are disagreeing equally. Open up at 6 at Pinnacle, Jeff, still at 6. Open up at Chris, still at 6. All 3 sports books out of New Jersey, 666. With a total of 69.5. So interesting to see a Tulane number now that they're more up-tempo, because we've seen them over the past couple of years slow it down, run the football. It looks like we're going to get some points in this one.
Yeah, I think we could, but I also really like the dog here. I'm interested in Tulane. You look at UCF, Donnie, failed to cover in 6 of 7. Laying points. They're just not a real good favorite, and they're on the road. They've struggled a little bit on the road. You look at Donnie, Tulane, 5-0 against the spread at home this year, scoring 45 points a game. Defensively, they've been under 17 points a game. They've just been terrific. I like this matchup. I think Tulane with McMillan is really dynamic. I'd much rather trust that defense to get a stop. Tulane and Temple for me, Donnie, if they're getting points at home, I think it's a must bet. I like Tulane here. I'll take the points. Think they can win this one. You have to ask yourself, Donnie, UCF, bowl eligible. I mean, what are you really playing for here?
Yeah. I like Tulane. I think Tulane's a good football team. I like what they got going on there. I agree. How about this one, Jeff? Nice one. Next one. I actually did a video, and I'm glad you picked out some good games here. 177, 178, Texas, and Baylor. I know how much you like Baylor, but I was doing this as a value play earlier in the week. The line opens up at 4 minus 3.5. I actually spiked to 6.5 at the time I did a video, and I did take Texas in this game. Tom Herman, always a pretty good underdog, but also those bounce back type situations where you have that deflating loss, how you recover. Maybe you start slow next week, or you say, boy, we had it all in front of us now for a national championship shot. Now we lost. You're going to go up against a pretty good team, a pretty game opponent, I should say, in Texas. I took the 6.5 in this game, and now that you're seeing across the board, Jeff, all three out of New Jersey, 5.5s and 5s, looking at Pinnacle -6 plus 103, Chris showing at 5.5. So it looks like that line coming down lower now for the Baylor Bears if you want to take them as a favorite.
Yeah, I backed Baylor the last 2 weeks. I took them against TCU. They covered. I took them last week against Oklahoma, and they covered. I'm betting against them this week, though. I love Texas in this game.
Yep, me too.
I also like the over. I think it's too low. But, Donnie, Texas –
by the way, Colin Johnson, what's he? I saw he was questionable for this football game.
Yeah, I need him in there, but I'll tell you, I think Duvernay's terrific. Yeah. Brendan Eagle's a good player as well. They had some weird drops last week, which is odd. But, Donnie, I think you hit it right on the head. You really looked at this game how I thought I would look at it. This is a true bubble burst game.
Yes.
Where do you go from here if you're Baylor? Yep. And the way they lost.
Yep.
They come right back.
Had it.
Right.
Yep, you had it.
You had it. You had them on their toes. And I don't know how you bounce back. Donnie, this is quite amazing. You look at this tenure for Tom Herman as an underdog, 16-3 at Texas. And that's an unbelievable number.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. I mean, that's fascinating.
That shows your team overperforms in spots that were not the better quote-unquote team, which is what you want.
Let me again say, it was not at Texas. This is his whole career as an underdog, 16-3, including, Donnie, he's won outright 11 different times.
Yeah.
To continue to put Texas as an underdog, I'll keep betting it.
Why not? It works every week. Even last week, I saw you tweeting the game. They were dead to rights in that football game, and all of a sudden, here we go. Texas is back in it. Sure.
And I'm starting to see some of the cracks that Baylor has. I don't love Brewer. I think Texas's defense is getting better. I don't think I don't think they're as inept as they were.
Yeah.
And Donnie, to me, look, Ehlinger's just the best player in the field in this game. Like I'm in. Give me those big receivers. Give me those big guys. And I'll tell you, that Baylor defense looked lost in that game. I mean, they couldn't get stops. Give me Herman. Give me Herman as a dog. I'll bet it every fucking time.
Yep, same wavelength as me. Same exact wavelength. And also, if you rode the crest the right way, right, opens up early, spikes up. Now you get it, comes back down. We'll see. It'll be Charlie Brewer and the crew. We'll see if they come up.
As long as I'm getting points, I'm good.
Yep. Next one up, Jeff. Navy and SMU. 69% of the tickets coming in on the Mustangs as they head to Annapolis to play. Navy opened up at -3 at Pinnacle, -2.5 at Chris. Now across the board, Jeff, 3.5s for the Navy midshipmen here.
Yeah, Donnie, you know I'm a big Navy guy.
Yeah,
I do. I love all the armed forces. And over the years, how good have they been in Annapolis, right?
Yep.
Really good. Donnie, Sports Cheetah, Sports Cheetah.
I do.
He is a guy that I actually do respect. I think him and Kazarian are really good. I think Stanford Steve, those guys. He had a pick for this on his best bet about he thinks that Navy is incredibly overvalued. He doesn't understand. And I started to think about it. And while they're at home here with this grade and everything, but I got to tell you, I was disappointed with that performance last week. I don't think Notre Dame is that special. I mean, they made Navy look bad. And I've seen SMU. I know they're capable. They're off a bye here. That Navy defense got riddled last week. I mean, this SMU offense should move up and down the field. I just have some real concerns about the Naval Academy. And I also look at what SMU does well defensively, Donnie. They've a week to prepare here. They have a good defensive line, which against the option, if you can control your spacing and where you are on the field, you can have some success. But for me, I'm going to look over the number. Navy's ran for like over 800 yards the last 2 games against SMU. 66 is too low to me. I think this game is like a 41-34 type of game. I don't really want to worry about Navy's defense. I think SMU wins and covers, but at home, I just don't really want to bet against them. And I don't think you're going to make a lot of money betting against Navy as an underdog. They don't beat themselves. Give me and Donnie, what team bounces back better than Navy a lot of the time?
That's what it's adversity, man. They don't feel it.
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to go over 66. I have this as like a 41-34, 44-34, something like that. I'll go over the number here.
No, it should be. That's our college football card for the week, Jeff. How about some NFL action? You down for some NFL action?
Yeah, I'm real interested in these, at least in all the games, but I think these 3 games are really interesting. I actually have something that I think I can share. And Donnie, I know you like this card this week. I do as well. I think you have some real angles here. We got a couple games we looked at. Why don't you tell us about them?
Yeah, we'll start with we'll save the Eagles and Seahawks for last, but a couple games we want to look at here: the Cowboys and the Patriots. And why the NFL does this, I'll never have any idea. 2 4:00 games at which is. There has to be some metric behind it, why they like it and why you can't just watch all the football games on your own cable network. You get like shit games you're forced to watch. That's for another story, but this is going to be a good one here. Dallas and New England, 4:25 p.m. up in Foxborough. What looked like we weren't going to have any problems with weather, Jeff, now creeping in as rain is in the forecast. Now, looks like it's going to rain. Keep in mind, it's 4:25 game, not a 1 o'clock game. Rain will be at the start of the football game, but will dissipate as the game goes on. When we're taking a look at this game, matchup-wise, New England going to be down Mohamed Sanu. It looks like Philip Dorsett's probably going to give it a go as a wide receiver, which they really need. Isaiah Wynn coming back at left tackle. That's going to help them out a lot. Not a lot to like this year from Tom Brady in the offense. They're scoring points majority because that defense keeps on giving them really good field position or scoring actually themselves when it's not the offense. But Dallas coming in, Jeff, red hot on offense, going to go up against a pretty good defense. I think Dallas is going to be tough to handle in this football game, man. I do.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested in Dallas money line here.
Yeah,
I think they go and win this game. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm not afraid to say it, Tom Brady looks horrible. I'm seriously. Go back and watch that game last week against the Eagles. He was terrible.
I don't know if he was terrible. He made some good throws. But once those guys got injured, they didn't have anything, man. They don't have a lot. They're like the Eagles.
And that's kind of my angle here. Sanu. Okay, you don't have much on offense right now. Tom Brady really looks like he's missed Gronkowski. I think. I found myself a lot of the time saying, "What the hell was that?" I also look at this Patriot defense, Donnie. Outside of the Ravens, who they got destroyed by,
bombed on. Correct.
Who the fuck? Yeah,
You're
played,
right. That's the angle. That's it. And even when you say, well, they play who they play, you're talking about teams like the Giants. You remember when the Giants played them on a Thursday night game without Evan Ingram, without Sterling Shepard, and without Saquon Barkley?
They've been incredibly lucky.
The Jets, who the quarterback was seeing ghosts. You got the Eagles with one hand tied behind their back.
Like, I get who they played, but they haven't played anyone good.
Exactly.
That's the
and
point.
when they played an offense, Jeff, that can run the football, that has an awesome offensive line, that has a couple weapons at wideout, and a quarterback that can deliver with his feet and his arm.
And I'm going to say this right now, and it hurts to say this because I'm a realist, though. From a pure total offense standpoint, I don't think there's a better offense in the league than Dallas.
Correct. And my hope, I've done shows, Jeff, with the Dallas offense, and I tell people, they don't get enough respect. I hate the Cowboys. They are the most complete offense in the NFL, and it's I can't just say no. It's the Dallas Cowboys are the most complete.
Their offensive line's good, great. They got a really good running back.
That if you need to lean on, you got them. Yep.
The receivers are really good.
Win one-on-one battles all over the place. Yep.
And their quarterback's playing at an ultra-high level. If Lamar and Russell Wilson weren't playing the way they were, he'd be the MVP. Okay? I mean, I really like Dallas here. I think this line is laughable. Look, I'm never one to say bet against New England because I don't do it often.
Yeah.
But I'm really liking Dallas. I really do. If you actually believe as an Eagle fan that the Eagles are better than Dallas, even fully healthy, you're fucking lost.
Or how about this one, Jeff?
It's not close.
Dallas plays really well at home, not on the road on offense, Jeff. 27 points per game on the road for the Cowboys this year.
It's nonsense. And another thing, that defensive line, Robert Quinn, DeMarcus Lawrence,
nice pickup.
Michael Bennett. That secondary, while young, is pretty good.
Yeah, you're down Van Der Esch, which will hurt him a little bit in this football game. But no, I understand what you're doing. When I look at this football game, I look at the Dallas Cowboys offense and I say they're going to score points. Now, again, unless there's 20-mile-an-hour winds, sideways rain the whole game, I understand it's going to change it. But if you get normal conditions, maybe some rain, and it's not 40 degrees, or it is going to be 40 degrees, but not 20 degrees, they're going to move the football. I got news for you.
Foose is saying something I like as well. Another game I like here, Team total over Dallas.
Already got it.
20.
Yep. No, it was 19 earlier. Is it 20?
What?
Hold on.
Come on, man.
Is it up? Yeah, there you go. Good. I like that. Yeah, see, he's up red. See, people taking angles for the right eye. I like this.
And I'll tell you another thing.
Smart people.
Donnie, I love coaches. I love guys that coach, not just, hey, do this and do that. How do you do this? And how you get better as a player? Mm-hmm. I know he's old. Marinelli's a hell of a coach.
It's funny, too. Yeah.
He's a hell of a coach.
You know who else is a good coach along with him on the defense? Who's the co-defensive coordinator?
The kid, Richard.
Chris Richard. Great coach.
Dallas, Yep. And I'll tell you, that's where I think Jason Garrett does get a lot of shit.
Kellen Moore, Jeff. Remember little Kellen Moore back there calling the plays for the offense?
And that's why, if you're Jerry Jones, I would never fire Garrett. You don't need to. He's a mouthpiece, and he takes all the shit. Yeah. And deep down, Donnie, he's Joe Paterno when he was old. He's just there. He doesn't do anything.
Like Jerry says, look, this guy's going to be your offensive coordinator. Jason Garrett goes, cool. I like it.
Yeah, because he doesn't have to do anything. No. He just stands there and slaps people's hands and stuff.
That's true.
He's lame, but they don't need him to be a good coach. They have a good coordinator.
I like it. We get to sit back. The good part is the Eagles will play it once, so I get all my frustration out. And then at least I can sit back here. So let's keep it moving because we could spend all day on that. I agree with your sentiments in there. There's a couple angles I think that are really fresh. And I was doing a show earlier today, Jeff. I don't agree with the line movement. I don't. -6 at Pinnacle is now 6.5. For what reason? We'll see. But
I'll tell you what reason. The fucking public love New England. They just do. Yeah. Look at the team total, Donnie. 20.
Yeah.
I think books are way off on this game.
There you go.
The clouded Patriot stuff is getting to them a little bit.
Yeah.
Do they not see kind of who they've?
I think they just go off the numbers. How we would look at a game and say all the algorithm would say, look at this: 6 points, 6 points, 7 points, 10 points, 10 points, but not actually looking at who they're actually playing.
If Dallas,
this is the number one offense coming to town.
If Dallas gets crushed here, New England rolls. Okay, fine.
Yes.
I don't care.
Right.
I'm not taking New England here. I'm just not. I think Tom Brady has struggled. I do. Go back and watch the game for the second time. He made some awful decisions and he looked brittle. He's looked brittle, man.
Yeah. And doesn't have the weapons. And what the Patriots always used to do? Oh, we're going to start running. They can't run the football. Now they get some offensive linemen help back in this game, but you don't flip the switch. If you can't run the ball season, Jeff, you don't just flip and be like, now we pound the rock. Let's get into the next game.
I'll tell you though, Over could be a good player too. But
man, see, I think you got the right MO here.
And I want to make this clear: I have not talked to Donnie once.
No, we haven't. That's funny because Jeff knows. Jeff's probably surprised because I do NFL, I do college football videos, and I'm like, let me ask you a couple of games, and the games were on there. So yeah, no, this wasn't.
And I also says I don't watch Donnie's shows. No. I'm sorry, I don't. The element.
I don't watch your Easers then. So
the element of surprise. No, I'm talking about your SBR show.
No, I know.
Yeah, I don't watch that.
Next up, Jeff, Bucks Falcons. This matchup has you. If you are a handicapper, which we are, and we love to play angles and trends and who's hot and who's not. The Atlanta Falcons 2019 might need a book, depending on where they end the football season. Dead to rights, out of it quick. Coach is fired. Quarterback stinks. Everybody's injured. And they flip the switch out of the bye and look like, the best team in football, destroying the New Orleans Saints completely healthy in New Orleans, taking apart the Carolina Panthers. Both of those, keep in mind, Jeff, market underdogs in those games. Now they flip to the favorite, and here come in those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I got to tell you, I stayed far away from this football game because is it just like, oh, well, this is the real Atlanta Falcons? Sooner or later, they got to go back to sucking, right?
Over 28 team total I like here.
For who?
For Atlanta. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I love it. Love it actually a lot. I actually bet this last week for the Saints against Tampa, and it got there. I think this one gets there as well. Donnie, Atlanta, I only want to look at them from an offensive standpoint in this game. I don't know if I believe in their defense, but I also don't want to bet against it right now. Yeah. And if you know anything about Tampa, they always play close games. I don't want to worry about a side. I don't, a total. I don't want to worry about it either because I don't want to worry about Donnie. I don't want to have to depend on Jameis Winston to throw an interception. Not
fumbling, correct.
Yeah, I just want to – I don't want to worry about that. I want to focus on the Falcons against this Tampa defense, okay? Falcons love to throw the football. No Freeman. They're throwing the ball more than anyone in the league, okay? You look at the secondary for the Bucs. They're kind of a weird defense because they're number one in rushing defense.
Yes.
And 30th in pass defense. A lot of that has to do with the fact that MJ Stewart's not playing right now. They're slot corner. They're just mixing and matching, trying to make things work. Carlton Davis has been injured. They cut Vernon Hargraves. This secondary is a mess. It's no better than it was last year. And it's really been a seesaw because you've had a good run defense. The problem is Atlanta doesn't run the football. Also, Donnie, you look at Ryan, and even though he's been injured, I signified the matchup for Breeze last week against the Bucs. You look at Ryan against the Bucs, 355 and 3 touchdowns in week 6 last year, 378 and 2 touchdowns in week 17. You got Julio Jones, you got Calvin Ridley. Hey, maybe we get Austin Hooper back. You got Justin Hardy. We got all sorts of playmakers here. It's inside. Bucs defense stinks. They're injury prone. Team total over 28. Lock it up.
There you go. So you're expecting a nice game in the 30s. And then when I could see it, I definitely could see it. Because if you take a look at the over-under, 53, 54, it opens up 54 and a half, actually, Chris. That now down to 51. So we'll see what happens. Last game we'll talk about, Jeff, 1 o'clock, which was supposed to be 8 o'clock, which DRS was supposed to be in the building, but now it's 1 o'clock. So DRS will not be in the building for this football game. And maybe, Jeff, maybe it's a sign from the gods, right? Where you say, you know what? I was really looking forward to this football game, and they're going to be in the playoff mix, which they still are. But now you're going to go down there, maybe no Alshon, maybe no Agholor. It looks like the shoulder injury. Jeff, let me preface this by saying, I watch every week in football. Hey, homie got a stinger out there. So they go on the sidelines. They tell you to put your hands up like this. They test the one shoulder, test the other one. Guy runs out in like 2 plays. All right, I'm good to go. Howard on the Eagles, Jeff, has been out 3 weeks and not cleared because of a neck stinger. And, of course, Doug Peterson says, hey, it's a little complicated. Are you kidding me? Lane Johnson gets a concussion, which half the guys in the NFL play the same game with a concussion. 90% of them clear concussion protocol by like Thursday and are ready to go. He hasn't taken the practice field. He's also going to be out. So that last 3 quarters of football where we saw without Lane Johnson on the football field at Lincoln Financial Field, the Eagles couldn't do anything. What leads us to believe that the Eagles will do anything on offense again this week? I
want to tell anyone that's watching this show, because none of you guys live in Philadelphia. You don't listen to the media. Let me tell you something. Today, okay, I want all of you, go get the practice report for the Eagles. If there's someone listed on it, they are not playing Sunday. They're not. I don't care if it says full participant. I don't care. They're not going to play. Because I tell you what the Eagles do, Donnie. They are notorious for, A, not having people ready to play, and B, saying they're ready to play, and we never see them.
Week to week, day to day.
Every week, yes. So this current team, Donnie, for what it is what you have. Okay, so your starting receivers this week are going to be Mac Hollins, Jordan Matthews, and I don't know who the hell else.
JJ.
Oh, right. Ortega Whitehead, who they haven't played at all anyway because they don't think he's good enough.
Yeah.
I don't know if they went out and got someone off the practice squad like, an Afeni Moma type of player who they had a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Paul Turner.
Who's the little Greg? Why don't they just get Greg Ward? He'd be their best wideout right now.
Yeah, right. Is Marvin McNutt going to walk through the door?
I was yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? But so there's that, okay? Last week, Vitae was abused on the right side. So good luck with that.
It looks now are they going to put? I think they're actually going to swing Dillard to right tackle when he's been playing left tackle the entire time.
Because again, because he's played left tackle and he's a rookie. That's all he knows how to do. Listen, the running back situation is a mess. Where was Ajayi last week? I thought he was going to play. Doesn't play.
Well, I mean, yeah, he had breakfast, and then so then I saw the report, whatever Roto World or whatever it was comes out. Jeff, Ajayi's going to have a big part in this game. So I say, awesome. Hasn't even taken a handoff in the NFL in like 16 months. Big time, baby.
This team is so not likable. It's not even funny. I mean, it is really sad. Like, I mean, Donnie, all of a sudden Agholor has an injury. That seems like to me, hey.
He should have been smart. Like I thought he's actually, because I got to give Agholor a little bit more credit, Jeff. He knew he blew the catch at the end of the game, and you saw him go grabbing his knee. 99% of the Delaware Valley is like, I hope it's blown out.
I love how he doubles down and says that it was a tough catch and that he
made it a tough catch.
Yeah.
How about that?
He looked like the guy in that meme that's like with the car, kind of watch his car, and he's like all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned the under.
I love the under.
Real quickly to me earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with you. Here's the thing.
How about Tyler Lockett, Jeff? Let's just say he's 50% or maybe doesn't play or gets knocked out. But no, that's what I'm talking about the under, though.
Like, that definitely helps.
The chunk plays aren't going to be there for both teams.
Right, because the Eagles' defense is back to
yes. And the formula, when you watch the Seattle Seahawks, the formula for their offense, Jeff, is if you can push them, like if you can score on their defense, Russ goes all-world Superman mode and scores on you. If they don't need to score and they're up, Jeff, or it's a 10-7 game in the third quarter, they don't press it in the orbit like we got to keep on scoring. This game will slow down. And just from an Eagles perspective, I know like Seattle's defense is really bad. You need playmakers to make sure that defense stays bad. That's the whole point.
I'll say also, Donnie, a matchup that could be a concern for the Seahawks, Joey Hunt, their center, they don't have Justin Britt. Yeah. Fletcher Cox could have a big game. This could be a good spot for him to kind of assert himself. But yeah, I like your under call.
I don't see that. Like, it's that high note. Like, you're talking about 48 points, maybe get some rain, maybe get some wind. But when I need a total to go over, don't you have to look at like, all right, these quarterbacks got weapons, and is there going to be a 65-yard strike in this football game? It ain't happening. I don't think it's happening.
21-17 seems pretty good here. I'll tell you, though, Seattle will win because the Eagles are gutless right now. They're a fundamentally bad team. And, Donnie, the difference in this game, you know where it is? Metcalf, Gordon, Russell Wilson on the defense. You got guys like Clowney, who may or may not play, but guys like him, they're the difference. You know, the Quandre Diggs, Seattle's a better football team.
And they're rather good. We're forgetting all of a sudden also, Jeff, they're off a bye. Like they're scheming for a week and a half for the Eagles going, I bet you the best part about it too is, all right, let's break this game down. Pete Carroll's staff. And after one day, they're like, dude, they don't have anything on offense, so I don't really know what we're going to break down anymore. Like, how easy is it to figure the Eagles out?
And the thing is, you look at two things that you could be concerned with if you're a Seattle backer here. A lot of the public back in Seattle, they're a big, popular underdog, and the line does look kind of weird. And the Eagles are good at home, but I'm telling you, don't buy low on the Eagles. They're not good. They're not a good football team.
If the Eagles came into this game healthy Alshon, healthy Deshaun, they would win this football game going away and a healthy Lane Johnson. But they don't have those guys.
Donnie, when I figure this stuff, when I say these things, I generally find a way to be right. You know, one of the big problems the Eagles have, and I mean this, with all due respect, they're not well coached. They aren't.
No.
Listen, let me tell you something. Doug won the Super Bowl. He was great that year. Okay, I give it to him. And I still think the jury's out on Doug overall because this year he's been horrible. Their defensive coordinator is, I think, just in over his head. He's a decent coach, but
I don't know why you don't like him. He
doesn't have the talent.
Defense all the time, and they have nothing on the back end. Now they do. They played well the last 2 weeks.
But again, Donnie, I don't ever see them interacting with the player. Like, there's no sitting on the side like, hey, this is who is their offensive coordinator? Is he even there? Does he even exist? Was Mike Groh even on the field during games?
Yeah.
Like, their coaching, like, look at what we just talked about with Dallas, Donnie. Richard, Moore, Marinelli. Then you get the Eagles. You have Jim Schwartz, Mike Groh, and who even is on their deep? Like, who is there outside of Schwartz? Who's in there? Corey Undlin? Like, who cares? Like, their coaching staff blows.
Huh?
And Doug Peterson, he didn't win the Super Bowl. Frank Reich won the Super Bowl. John DeFilippo won the Super Bowl. The jury is still out on Doug Peterson, I'm telling you. The Super Bowl is wearing off, Donnie, and he continues every week. We'll get better.
Can we run the football, Jeff? Like, did you see the Colts yesterday? Undermanned yesterday, go 3 tight end sets and just keep handing the football off. That's how you stay on the road, man. That's how you give your team a chance to win.
And Donnie, I know a lot of people love Goddard. Every time that dude catches the football, I feel like he's going to fumble.
Well, when he's cutting back last week and they hit him from behind, like that ball's coming loose.
And it's like he's not that tight end type that can like big and hold on to the ball. He's a big guy, but he's like seems to be real weak. I don't know. And Zach Ertz, I've had it with him. I'm over him. He's so
he's
weak.
their only player. I mean, he
gets
doesn't
yak.
run. Yeah. He's not Travis Kelce, that's for sure, running with it.
No, and forgive me for saying he was better than Kelce at one point.
Oh, nice.
It's awful decision to say. But all right, that's it for the show.
Yep.
More breakdowns than anyone's going to give you in 30, 40 minutes. All right, Donnie, good stuff. Any plans for the evening?
Plans for the evening tonight? Not yet. No, not yet. I don't. Do you?
No, I don't. Not right now. I got a couple games I'm on tonight in college hoops. And I also will tell you, if you guys want Premier League picks, my blog is out, pubsportsradio.com. I'm 38-37, Donnie, up over 10 units this season. A lot of underdogs on a weekly basis that are coming in. So make sure you go check those out. What else do we have here? Any horses today? No, not today. We're kind of late on the show here. All right, I'm out of here. You all have a great night. Thanks for watching. Donnie, good stuff as always. We'll be back Monday. Also, join me later. I got some college shows. I got the NBA show. And tomorrow morning we'll do an NFL, or not NFL, NCAA show. Things are going to change on this channel. I'm going to be really honest. So don't be surprised if they do. We got to do some different things here. We can't keep doing all these shows for free. It's just too much. All right, we're out of here. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. See ya.